Alright, so people always ask me, what the deck list? What the deck list? What the deck list? What the deck list? This the deck list, bruh. Alright. Now I know y'all do not like issues with tier limits, but let's show my opponent's deck list while we're at it. Why not? Fuck it. So, let's go ahead and play this match out. So I'm playing against somebody named Jordan, and of course, Ishizu tier limits have been nerfed so heavily, and it's about to get an even bigger nerf. Now, the hand that I start off with, this looks like trash, but this is an absolutely powerful hand for tier limits for the simple fact that I start off with Scream, which means I get a 3 mil here. I also get Pearl Loreno in my hand, so I can also use Pearl Loreno. Now, I probably should have used Foolish Burial Goods while Scream is in my hand in case he has an Ash or something like that. He would either have to use it on Foolish Burial Goods or I don't know. I don't know. That way I wouldn't risk my Pearl Loreno getting ashed, but I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm savage like this. So, we are going to start off by putting Scream on the field and then Pearl Loreno. Pearl Loreno is going to search Rhino Heart, and now we're going to use the Foolish Burial as an extender. So I chain block my Rhino Heart by sending Scream, and then I also send a Sheeran right here. So Sheeran plus the 3 mils from Merly, and then of course I want to keep Merly in my graveyard, so I basically go into Kid Kalos with the Rhino Heart that's on my field, and then I grab Celiac, and then I'm going to then activate Kid Kalos to move itself off the field to summon out Merly so I can mill 8 more cards. And then I end up hitting a Havness right here. I use Havness plus the Kid Kalos that went into my graveyard to go into Rule Kalos. And then I'm going to use Foolish Burial Good as a way to get some form of extension. I end up sending a Gito right here, and then I hit a Merly. So I activate that Merly, and then I go into this card right here, Garura, or Gayura, or however you say that card's name. When it gets sent to the graveyard, you get to draw a card, and then I activate Sprite Elf as well. So then that way I can bring Diviner back from my graveyard. I activate Diviner to send the Kelbeck, so now I have successfully hit both Kelbeck and Agito. And then I'm going to activate Rhino Heart since I have one in my hand. And then also it'll allow me to special summon just to get a body out so I can go into Baron de Flor. And remember what I told y'all? This was probably the most optimal of hands that you could have had. Well, it didn't look like it originally, right? But this is a very optimal tier limits inboard. Basically, we got Pearl Reno to pop a card on the field, Sulic, which is a monster negate, Baron de Flor, Omni negate, tier limit Scream if they special summon or a normal summon, just anything pretty much while I control a tier limit. Basically, I get to mill 3 cards. Then we also got Super Poly. Super Poly is very effective in this particular deck because of this card right here and because of this card right here, Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Now, I can for sure get this card back into my deck at any point whenever I'm ready to, so I'm not too worried about it being in the graveyard right there. For sure, one of the easiest ways to do that is to go into Dracostapelia. Dracostapelia plus pretty much any tier limit fusion monster, and then this card right here can basically send this back to the extra deck, go into Dracostapelia. So hopefully y'all understand that. So right here, I'm just going to shuffle back my Ishizu cards, the millers, and then I'm going to activate Sprite Elf as a chain reaction to his end shuffle right here, bringing that Diviner back out. And I want to deep mill into my deck right here, so of course the card that I'm going to go for will be Agito. And then I also activate Scream right here, and Agito is a 1 of, so yeah, that's why I did that. So Agito plus Kelbeck both activate, milling a total of 10 cards out of my deck, and I grab a crime. So now every single card in my deck will get sent to the graveyard, and I'm going to send 15 cards off of his deck to the graveyard from the Kelbeck plus Elgato. And that is 100% of my deck in the graveyard. He should probably end turn right here if I didn't just put cards back on to my deck, which is the best part about Tearlaments. These cards go back, so now anytime I mill, I'm pretty much going to be getting effects now. So then I go into El Shaddai Winda. Winda already is hard enough for people to deal with trying to beat a Winda, but now he's going to have to try to beat a Winda, a Baron de Fleur, a Kaleido Heart, a Rule Kalos, Sprite Elf, well, Super Poly. I get to mill as soon as he basically summons anything. Also, Tearlaments Sulliek right here, this card right here, basically as a monster negate. Of course, this one can't activate, but this one can because it was already there, and I can pop something that goes on his side of the field. Still got my Maxi, which I do not plan on activating because I'm not trying to lose due to getting decked out, which is why I haven't activated it yet. Also have a Hand Trap Havness right here and a Tearlaments Crime that I will be able to set on the next turn if we make it there. My guess is he's not going to be able to play through this. So let's see what he does. He activates this card right here, this engaged Neo space. I don't know why he thought that would work. Rule Kalos comes back onto the field. Now I could have 100% popped this card right here. Could have easily just popped it right there, or I could have just spent that card back with Kaleido Heart, or I could have just negated it with Sulliek if I wanted to. But I chose not to. I just shuffle back his shit to make him feel like and then he tries to boost the attack. I basically stop that attack boost with Baron de Fleur. And then he just sets a card face down. Of course, I activate Baron de Fleur to pop this card back here. What card is this? Favorite Contact. Special summon one fusion monster from the extra deck. Yeah, we're just going to Rule Kalos, negate that right there. And then my opponent just pretty much scoops it up. How could he have possibly beat my board? The best thing he could have done was evenly match me after I used my Baron de Fleur. But by that point, I did not care anyways because I would have just used Winda. I wouldn't have cared about everything else getting banished. Heroes can't beat Winda. They can't out Winda, so yeah, I don't give a fuck, bro. GG's, my boy. Hold that L forever and ever and ever. And peace. Catch y'all on the next one.